Welcome to my channel, Seeing Blind. This video is going to be on how I change a diaper. As someone legally blind, people often ask me, how do I know when their bottom is clean, when they have a diaper rash, or what the best locations are? All kinds of questions. So really doesn't matter what your disability is. I would think there's going to be a gold nugget tip in this video for you. So I'm going to talk about all these questions and answers, the techniques I use to get this dirty job done. Let's get started, guys. So I am right now on the floor, which is my preferred changing spot. Your changing location will probably change as your baby gets older, or as you become more comfortable with the task and just find more convenient locations in your home. Regardless, you always want to think safety first, right? Wherever you choose to change your baby, you just want to make sure there's nothing in their arm's reach that they can grasp, knock over, or pull over top of them, like a bib or burp cloth. That was always something I had to remind myself, because I'd have a burp cloth on my shoulder, I'd put it down, and immediately they would grasp it and put it over their head. Personally, in the beginning, during the newborn and infancy phases, I did choose to use a changing table. Are they necessary? Absolutely not. But I was recovering from a C-section, so I did not want to get up and down off the floor multiple times throughout the day while I was healing. Also, I really liked how the changing table elevated my baby to a great height for me, that I could easily lean over using what little vision I have to take care of their umbilical cord, and for my son, his post-circumcision wound. There's just a little extra care involved in the beginning, and having that changing table really kind of fit in my needs. There's a lot of other different things out there, like the accessories that go over top of pack and plays. A lot of people with disabilities find those very useful. There's changing tables are different heights, so just do some research, find out what works for you. Just know that you don't have to spend anything extra, guys. The floor works, the bed works, couches work, any flat surface that is comfortable, and as long as you don't sacrifice safety for accessibility, right? For example, when my kids became more active and approached the time when they were learning to roll, I did not put them on the changing table anymore. We went immediately to the floor, and here we are. So let's move on to the next part and talk materials. Real quick, what are you going to need? You're going to make sure you have, of course, your diapers and wipes, but there's 3 more things that you're going to need, and that is a good diaper rash cream. I highly recommend HACKSfor. I've used mine so much that the label is missing, but HACKSfor is great, as well as Boudreaux's butt paste is also a good product. So you also want to have a really good changing pad. So there's all kinds of different products like this out there, whether it's like an actual cushioned changing pad or just something flat and easily washable like this. This is great when you have those blowout diapers and poo is getting everywhere. It just helps contain everything a little more and makes cleanup so much easier. The third thing is distraction. Guys, this is super important. It is so difficult to change a baby that, number one, wants nothing to do with what you need to do and fights you every step of the way. So super frustrating. So you can make that process so much easier if you have a distraction. That could be a toy, something they can fidget with, or unfortunately, I hate to go here, but it's the TV. This is why this spot works for me, because I am not above turning on their favorite TV show and letting them zone out while I'm taking care of business. Here is a gold nugget tip. If you are running low on diapers or wipes or cream or anything that you need, make sure you do not procrastinate, guys, and restock. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've come down to like 3 or 4 wipes, and I'm thinking, oh, I'll just change them later, or oh, I'll remember to do that before the next change. Yeah, no. Moms, trust me, you will forget. Just go ahead, restock as soon as you can right after you finish changing your diaper so that the next time you are prepared and you're not gonna run out, because it's Murphy's Law, guys. If you have 3 wipes left, trust me, you're gonna have a poopy blowout diaper and you're gonna need like 15. So number 1, guys, tip for materials is always have a good stock. Let's talk preparation. Preparation is just as important as your materials and everything else, because if you have a disability, no matter what it is, preparation is really going to eliminate any extra frustration and just make the process that less stressful. So before I even grab my baby, it's so much easier if I just go ahead, especially if I think I'm going to be dealing with a poopy diaper. And come on, moms, like, we know when there's some poo going on, right? So I always just make sure I get my changing pad. It's already down on the floor. And I also make sure that I've got my wipes out and they are open so that I can quickly grab one with just one hand, because your other hand's going to be busy. So you want to make sure that the wipes are ready to go and easy to grab. I do use them just straight out of the bag, guys, but I also have, this tub in. If you have any fine motor issues and that sometimes these bags can kind of have a difficult latch, a one little touch push to open them can be handy for you. So just find what works for you. Regardless, make sure everything's open and ready to go. That also includes the diaper. So you want to open your diaper and make sure that the tabs are also open and ready to go, and your diaper's facing up so that you just quickly grab it and slide it under their bum. Now that we're prepared, let's go get the baby. I've got my son. He is almost 2, not quite yet. So you will see me change him in just a minute, because I think it's probably time. All right, so let's discuss the process of changing a diaper real quick before we get to the difficult questions of diaper rash and how I know I've sufficiently wiped him. So I'm prepping my space here and making sure my changing pad is down and my wipes are ready and open and my diaper is also ready and opened. I'm then going to make sure he has a good distraction before I lay him down. So now he has a toy and he looks pretty content. So I'll go to open his clothes and really push them back up out of the way, just so that nothing gets on them and they're not contaminated. With newborns, guys, before you open that dirty diaper, you want to make sure you are completely ready with a wipe or anything in your hands, just in case that fresh air makes them want to pee or poo while you are in the middle of the change. So I'll tuck that dirty one under his butt, and as I am wiping, I will put any of those dirty wipes into that dirty diaper. That way I can roll it all up together, pull it aside, and then push that new one, fresh diaper, right under his bum, fold it up. You want to securely fasten the sides, guys, just so that there's no sagging or that it doesn't fall off when they're moving or crawling or they don't push it down. And then once I've fastened his clothes back down together, I will give him a verbal and visual cue that mommy is all done and he is ready to go play again. To the last section where I'll talk about those difficult questions and answers and hopefully share some good advice and tips that will help you. Let's first address diaper rashes. So these are detectable for the blind and visually impaired. You'll first notice that your baby will be more cranky and irritable and may even give you some body language cues by trying to reach or touch the area that's causing the discomfort. If you are suspicious you're seeing those initial cues, guys, be careful with your wiping. You don't want to vigorously go over it again, because that will just irritate and inflame that rash that much more and cause them so much more discomfort. So you want to just gently dab the area and really almost use this to help map out how significant the rash could be, or if it's just in a specific location. So use your wipe, just dab as gently as you can, and if you feel like you're in an okay area, go ahead and just clean the best you can. However, guys, if you're in doubt, if they had a massive blowout poopy diaper earlier and maybe you just didn't clean them sufficiently enough, and that could be what's caused the rash, go ahead, put them in the bathtub and just clean them as you would normally, because yes, that water could cause irritation as well, no more so than the wipes would, but you really want to make sure you get all that off of their skin, that whatever's causing this rash is cleaned away so that their skin can begin to heal. While they are in the bath or while you are just gently dabbing them clean, you can use your hands to detect the rash also. So visually impaired and blind people, we use our hands for everything, right? We're constantly feeling and touching, and diapering is no different, as ewy as it sounds. So use your hands to gently go over your baby and feel for little bumps or disruption in their smooth skin. Just like when you're shaving and you sometimes feel those like raised bumps that can come up, or sometimes it even feels like acne. But that's what you want to feel for, and you want to be very gentle, very slow, and trust me, you will detect it, because when the skin is irritated, you will feel some kind of inflammation there, and it's usually like in the form of little bitty bumps. That's where you will want to, of course, apply your diaper rash cream, but make sure you get all the surrounding areas too, just to make sure you're thoroughly addressing everything and any place that could potentially develop into a rash. Moving on to the next question I often get is, how do I know I've sufficiently wiped my baby? So, us blind and visually impaired people, we are accustomed to touching disgusting things, unfortunately. That's just the truth of the matter. When you are wiping, of course with girls, you always want to wipe front to back, not back to front. So be careful with the grid method that most of us are all taught when cleaning and other things. When you're doing the grid method with a girl, just make sure that you are not wiping from their bottom up the top of the vagina, because you will cause an infection to set in if you aren't careful about that. So you want to make sure that you're wiping all those cracks and crevices. If you have a fat chubby baby, I love fat chubby babies. If you have one of those guys, just make sure you get all those rolls out of the way and make sure you're using your wipe to thoroughly clean within those areas, because that's where diaper rashes generally like to start. With boys, there is no special way you have to wipe with them. They're pretty easy, and you just really want to make sure you do a thorough job, and when in doubt, use another wipe. If you feel like you've sufficiently cleaned them with the wipes, this is where you will then double check with your hands. I have to do this all the time with my son because he has some difficult poo that just doesn't always like to easily come off with a wipe. So I will use my hands to just double check and make sure. You will feel that residue left on their skin. So unfortunately, guys, you'll just have to get dirty and wash your hands afterwards, which you should do regardless. That's it for me. If you like this video, please hit that like button right now, and the subscribe and the bell. Just knock all three out. That way you can stay updated on future stuff I've got coming out. If there's a question that you have that I did not address in this video, please don't hesitate to put it in the comment below. And if you have any gold nugget tips that you would like to share, please do so in the comments so that we can all benefit. Thanks again for watching. Take care.